Alright, so as Ishgard's war with Dragonkind rages, one individual is chosen each generation to become the Azure Dragoon, leading the Holy Sea's charge against the Horde. Yet for reasons unexplained, the Eye chooses to rouse for a second individual, you. Right, so this mostly takes place before, like earlier, a little bit earlier in the story, but that shouldn't matter for really anything that we're doing here. But it's gonna give us a bit of background on Ishgard and the dragons and what Dragoons actually are. I went. Oh, that's weird. Ah, I dare say you might just be the right. Oh, also I changed Leoki's pronouns. Since we were talking about him being gender fluid. But if that's too disorienting, let me know. I can always change it back. I dare say you might just be the right woman for the job. The guild has urgent need of a capable lancer for a mission beyond our nation's border. Hear me out, if you will. I received word from an Ishgardian friend to the effect that he requires our aid. I would have you go and provide that aid. As you may already know, due to our ongoing conflict with the dragons, Ishgard has kept her gates closed to outsiders for some time. The occasional Dragoon on patrol duty is about all full sea these days. In spite of our self-imposed isolation, however, the Holy See has never failed to honor our obligations to our allies. It is only fitting that we answer the call and lend what assistance we can. To this end, we offered to dispatch a contingent of wood whalers with all haste, but were politely informed that they would not be welcome, much to our initial confusion. It was later explained that we are dealing with a matter of some sensitivity, best handled by individuals who are capable and trustworthy, yet unbound by allegiance. Who fits that description, save adventurers? Secrecy being paramount, I can provide no details as to the nature of the task. All you need to know will be revealed at the rendezvous point. Should you accept the mission, take yourself to the observatorium. A knight by the name of Sir Albrecht will receive you upon arrival. Doesn't have clothes. Why? Oh wait, we do have something. Okay. Something at least. Sorry, I had to... Basically, because I can't be a Dragoon yet, because I haven't finished the Dragoon quest. So I had to take off all my armor, and I got rid of all my old Lancer armor. Yep. But yeah, basically just said that. Also, I changed Leoki's pronouns because we were talking about him being gender fluid. But if you prefer he, let me know. 'Cause I can control it, but yeah. Yeah, oh no, Leoki is the Dale of Eorzea. Oh no. Yeah, we just got sent to Ishgard on a secret mission. Ah, you must be the adventurer of who Ywain sent word. Greetings and well met. I am Sir Albrecht Bale, Knight of Ishgard. The Holy See is much obliged to you for your aid. Time being of the essence, I shall proceed straight to the heart of the matter. The eye, an Ishgardian relic of immeasurable worth, has been stolen, and we have reason to believe the culprit has come this way. So it is that we ask your assistance in its recovery. The thief has been identified as a man named Estinian, a dragoon sworn to the service of the Holy See. Aye, you heard true. The crime was perpetrated by one of our own, an individual in a position of trust and no little honor. You may be assured that a fate worse than death awaits him upon capture. My duties to the sea afford me little opportunity to travel far beyond the walls of Ishgard. I must confess to a grave ignorance of recent Gridanian affairs. I was told that a sentry by the name of Logrindel might have knowledge of routes off taken by Ishgardian fugitives. I would prefer to keep my identity a secret, and thus would have you gather what information you can from the man. I must act quickly, for you see, Estinian is... But I have already said too much. What matters is that we find our thief in the eye with all haste. When last sighted, Estinian was clad in black armor. Now go and speak not a word of what I have told you to anyone. Uh-huh. Hello, Gandandro. Routes favored by Ishgardian fugitives? Now that's a question I don't hear every day. You aren't plotting some unsavory act yourself, are you? Even if you were, I doubt you'd make it far. Any road, we've caught a few fleeing to the North Shroud. What with Gridania being home to nearly as many Elysian as Ishgard, it's no easy task to identify ourselves. If you're on the hunt for someone, you could do worse than to visit Florentril's Spire in the North Shroud and speak with a man named Idristan. If any suspicious persons have crossed the border in recent days, he'd be the first to know. Alright. North Shroud. We're on the hunt for Estinian. Okay. Hail, adventure. Yes, I am the one tasked with monitoring those who would enter our lands by way of Kurthus. Ishgardian knight clad in black armor. No, I recall nothing of the sort. Such a striking visitor would be difficult to forget. My apologies, friend. Can only suggest that you return to Logandrel and see if he has any other theories. Well, that was a waste of time. Honestly, for literal random pieces of armor that I have, this outfit's kind of fire. The pants matches his hair. The top just looks nice. Like, this area is a little bit of a mess. The shoes and socks. But everything above that looks pretty sharp. No luck, you say? Most curious. Why, it is nigh impossible that a fugitive could make it this far without being espied from Florentril's Spire. That's true, I think I got rid of the bright white boots, finally. Which leaves the possibility that your man is still in Ishgard. It runs counter to good sense. Would the fugitive not want to put a distance of grounds between him and his pursuers? But by the process of deduction, it is a possibility. The climes of Ishgard are not kind to drifters and vagabonds. That said, there has been talk of curious smoke wafting from a cave east of here at night. Were I you, I might begin my search there. To the campfire. We're gonna find you. No. Aha! Ah! Ah! Get to be a jumpy Dragoon now. It's exciting. Jumpy bunny. jumpy elf. That Ishgard would resort to sending coin-starved adventurers after me. I know not whether to laugh or feel insulted. Wow. The eye. It rouses for another. Preposterous. Our paths shall cross again. You can be sure of it. Wow. That's gonna be us. We're gonna be jumping all over the place. The powers of the dragon. I've always thought Dragoons were cool. They are a Final Fantasy staple, if you aren't familiar with them. But yeah, they basically, just fly through the air. A Dragoon clad in black, you say? Tell me all that transpired. By the Fury, that the Eye would choose another? I had not thought it possible. In light of recent events, it would seem an explanation is in order. The Eye is no ordinary relic. It harbors the power of the dragon, which it bestows upon a single chosen soul, the strongest and wisest Dragoon. He who is chosen is possessed of the power to fight our mortal foes, the dragons of Dravanya, on equal footing, soaring the firmament as if it were an extension of the land. That man is known as the Azure Dragoon. The Azure Dragoon is the light of hope for all Ishgardians and the paragon of all Dragoons. For this reason, you may imagine how it pains me to have to confess that the man you encountered, the thief, is none other than the Azure Dragoon, and that I was once his teacher. Needless to say, I acknowledge myself accountable for Estinian's misdeeds. I mean to do all in my power to find him and recover the Eye. But I cannot do this alone. I require your help, Lyoki, you who have received the power of the dragon. You may labor to believe it, but there can be no mistake. The soul of the Dragoon I bears glow in your presence. Irrefutable proof that you are chosen. What I can ill explain, however, is the why of it. Never before in Ishgard's long history has the Eye roused to more than one individual in a single generation. But it avails us not to cudgel our brains about it. The fact of the matter is that you are now a vessel for the power of the dragon. That dragon lies yet in slumber, however, and you must needs possess the means to wake it, the soul of the Dragoon. I would entrust you with mine, Lyoki. Like Estinian, I once ruled the skies as the Azure Dragoon, although that power has since become lost to me. It was simply by force of habit that I hitherto kept the soul upon my person. I have no inkling as to why the Eye has seen fit to choose a second, an outsider at that. But one thing is clear, none can challenge the Azure Dragoon and conceivably prevail, save another Azure Dragoon. You are our only hope of bringing Estinian to justice and reclaiming the Eye. Of course, I do not ask that you do this unaided. I may be a Dragoon no more, but what knowledge I have, shall gladly impart to you. For indeed, when the time comes that you must face the Azure Dragoon, not less than complete mastery over the power of the dragon will avail you. That a perilous road lies ahead of you I shall not deny. Knowing this, if you would still lend me your lance, I will teach you to harness the power that has chosen you. Go forth, my young Dragoon, and rouse the dragon within. I look forward to your return. We're a Dragoon! Dragoon unlocked! I can fly now! Your inner dragon grows stronger. Soul of the Dragoon. Alright. It is pleasing to see how readily the dragon stirs within you. You show great potential, Lyoki. A potential that may well prove the difference between victory and defeat. Estinian is no ordinary Dragoon. Even when set against the legendary Azures of ages past, the man is considered second to none. Such is his prowess, in fact, that the day he was chosen by the Eye, it was proclaimed that Haldrath the Dragon's Eye had been reborn. I mean not to disparage your skills, Leoki, but to pursue Estinian in your current state would be tantamount to suicide. As promised, I shall train you in the way of the Dragoon, that you might face Estinian as an equal. Before we commence, however, it is only fitting that you are edified regarding our origins. It all began a millennium past, when our forebears resided in the southern plains, in humble circumstances. The Fury, impressed by the spirit of our ancestors, decided it was meet that she make them her own. So did she appear before Haldrath's sire, a man of courage and integrity, named Thordan, and bade him lead her people to the Promised Land, to what would become the great nation of Ishgard. Their journey brought them to a wide chasm, whereupon Thordan and his people set to building a bridge. It was then that a dark shadow descended upon them, the great worm, Nidhogg. Heedless of his own safety, Thordan fearlessly charged at the colossal beast. Alas, he was pushed into the chasm by one of his own, a man seduced by the worm, and fell to his death. Taking up his slain sire's lance, Haldrath hurled himself at Nidhogg, even as tears streamed down his face. The confrontation ended when the young man's hand, guided by Helone, landed a mighty thrust that prized out Nidhogg's eye. The terrible roar of pain, the great worm took wing and fled, while jubilation reigned below. Ishgard's priceless relic is none other than the eye taken from Nidhogg that day. It is a veritable wellspring of dragon power. Even so removed from its owner, can exert control over the hearts of men. Haldrath himself felt its malign influence, but his love of justice brooked no corruption, and he prevailed over the power, claiming it for his own. And so it was that the first Azure Dragoon was born. Being derived from our foe, the power of the dragon is a thing to be loathed. But as Haldrath proved to us all, so long as our hearts burn with justice, we need not fear being taken in its thrall. Ah, but what is justice precisely? Justice assumes many shapes and forms, Leoki, and none can say that one is greater than another. So long as you hold fast to your beliefs and stay true to yourself, you leave no room for the power of the dragon to master you. Sorry. But enough of history. Let us return to the attention to the present. A knight by the name of Sir Brucemont will see to the next stage of your training. Seek him out at Witch Shop. Wow! Ishgard history lesson. Yeah, Dragoon armor is so cool! It's definitely one of my favorite in the game. It looks so sharp. Like, it's a bit edgy, but it is very cool. I like the one Celestia has, even though it's not like typical Dragoon at all. It's the like bright pink armor set. Yeah, gotta be careful. Yeah, hopefully we don't accidentally hit Leokobo. Those spikes look a little dangerous. Gotta be careful getting on and off of him. So the adventurer seeks to become a Dragoon. Ha! Sir Albrecht speaks of legends and chosen ones, but I would see you prove yourself in a more practical fashion. With your lance. Defend yourself. I can jump. I can jump. There, I defended myself. You have some skill, I will give you that. The glow of your soul crystal. Perhaps Sir Albrecht was not wrong about you after all. Now return to him. Your training here is complete. Wait, We didn't get trained! We fought like a bat. And that was it. This was a scam. My keybinds are not right here. There we go. Now the buttons work. Okay. The soul of the dragon grows ever stronger within you, Leoki. Clearly your trial was a rousing success. I need only observe your crystal to know as much. Yes, though you have only just begun to walk the path of the Dragoon, it is clear you possess the talent to become Estinian's equal. Go forth and make the powers you have obtained your own. When the time is right, we shall proceed with your training. Right. The worst part about Dragoon is that Dragon and Dragoon look so similar. It's like so hard to tell them apart. You grow ever stronger, and I speak of more than just the flesh. Aye, you are slowly but surely realizing your potential as an Azure Dragoon. It's heartening to look upon, though I must confess that my presiding feeling is one of relief. You must understand the mere thought that I would choose an outsider, one who ill comprehends the threat posed by the dragons, filled me with the gravest of misgivings. Yet you have... but I shall say no more, lest flattery impede your improvement. Now, during our last lesson, I enlightened you regarding the origins of Dragoons. You will recall how Haldreth heroically triumphed over the great worm Nidhogg, and Ishgard came into the possession of the Eye. Wow, the same Nidhogg! Tell me, Leoki, do you believe that these events truly transpired? Or are you inclined to think them fairy tales? I ask you this because few folk have seen dragons in the flesh besides we Ishgardians, and most would as soon dismiss them as products of the imagination. Alas, dragons are no less real than you and I, with Nidhogg perhaps the most real of all. In the course of its history, Ishgard has suffered the creature's wrath on 8 separate occasions. Each time the great worm rouses, the blood of countless Ishgardians is spilled. Let us revisit the past once more, Leoki. The time is 20 summers past, and the place, Dravanya. After a century in slumber, Nidhogg awakened once more to resume his reign of terror. Entire villages were razed to the ground, their inhabitants reduced to smoldering ash. Sensing the great worm's unbridled rage, others of his kind began to rouse, and in such numbers as to blot out the sun with their wings. A deep, foreboding darkness swept over Ishgard, raging infernos painting the belly of the sky an angry red. The agonized scream of innocence fading into deathly silence. In my station as the Azure Dragoon, I was there through it all, bore witness to all the horrors. There was no time to offer even a silent prayer. Nidhogg lingered in one place only long enough to lay it to waste, and when he took wing, so too did I to pursue him, a man possessed. This game of cat and mouse continued for what seemed an eternity before I found myself face to face with the great worm. The battle unfolded in a tiny settlement on the edge of Kurthis, raging on for 3 days and 3 nights, with neither side able to gain a decisive advantage. Remaining on my feet by sheer force of will, I realized that it must end now, else it shouldn't end well. Marshalling my last ounce of strength, I wagered all on a single thrust. My lance struck home, burying deep in the ruin of my opponent's empty eye socket. Yet before I could withdraw my weapon, the worm lashed out wildly in its agony, dealing a blow that left me sprawled upon the scorched earth, nigh insensate. In that instant, I thought myself surely doomed, but Halone was not finished with me. Having lost the taste for battle, Nidhogg let loose a blood-curdling roar before fleeing to the sky. The battle was over. While I did not perish from my injuries, they rendered my body unfit to bear the power of the dragon, and I was Azure Dragoon no more. Lying bedridden, my thoughts wandered to all the innocent lives that had been lost, the people I had failed to protect. The last conflict with the dragons of Dravania left countless orphans in its wake. Estinian is one of them, the sole survivor of Ferndale, the final village to suffer Nidhogg's wrath. With none left to care for him, I did the only thing I could. I took Estinian as mine own son, instructing him in the way of the Dragoon when he was of an age to learn. Yet I would not have you think me noble. My actions were born not of compassion, but of guilt. My guilt at having failed him. But alas, I have also failed him as a father. For what manner of man did I bring him up to be? A thief who would endanger the lives of every one of his countrymen. Aye, you heard me right. All of Ishgard may suffer for his crime. Though we know little and less of the minds of dragons, it is conceivable that the disturbance surrounding his stolen eye will rouse Nidhogg to awaken once more. That his kin have already stirred from their slumber serves as fair warning of that. Time is not on our side. Fortunately, it seems you are more than ready to embark on your next trial. Make your way to Witchdrop, where the knight Husjin awaits your arrival. My nation is depending on you, Yoki. Oh, yeah, poor Albrecht. Ooh, Ishgard has quite the history. So they got attacked by Nidhogg. They stole his eye. Gives the Azure Dragoon its power. And then Nidhogg keeps attacking them. And he barely defeated him. I feel like Albrecht did everything he could. He saved part of the village. It's not like he was scared to fight Nidhogg or something. You are the one who would aspire to be Azure Dragoon? Why, you are not even of Ishgard. If you truly possess the power that Sir Albrecht sees in you, then prove it to me with your lance. On guard. Jump, jump, jump. Just jump around everywhere. That strength. I've not seen its like since Estinian himself stood before me. Mayhap Sir Amric has the right of it after all. Return and show your crystal to him. I have no doubt he will be pleased. Fly. I want to jump around like Estinian did. Can I just jump in the air and land in front of them? Yeah. My computer still hasn't shipped, or at least I haven't gotten a notification. So I'm starting to think it might not get here next week, which is a bit sad. Not that I really need it for anything, so it's fine when it does get here, but still, it'd be nice to get it sooner. You have passed another trial with flying colors, Lyoki. The day when you may stand before Estinian as an equal is not far off. When that day comes, I will choose you over the traitor. I have no doubt of this. But we must be patient still. For now, you must continue your training, and you can do no more on your own. Seek me out once more. Yeah, they started building it on Monday, so I don't know if they ran into issues or if, like, they're short on parts. I haven't gotten any other updates. They said 3 to 5 business days, so technically Monday would be kind of the last day within their expected window. So it's not late yet, but Yeah, I don't know. I kind of expected it to go out this week. Impeccable timing, Liuki. A message arrived from Estinian but moments ago. Much to my astonishment. He would trade words with us, bids us meet him at Boulder Downs. As to his true intentions, I cannot say. It may well be a trap, but we must go nonetheless. I trust I can count upon your company. You got it! Ooh, we're gonna meet with Estinian. What could he want? Glad the cats are settled in today. Does seem like Luna is a lot more chill on days when I'm home most of the day, as opposed to at work. I don't know if that's actually what it is, but it's one theory. Wow, look at Liuki in his armor. Estinian. Greetings, Master. It has been too long. Estinian, end this folly at once. You must know that the second the eye passes outside Ishgard's wall... Each second the eye passes outside Ishgard's walls brings us closer to a repeat of the tragedy of 20 summers past. Surrender yourself and the eye, and return with me to Ishgard, before it is too late. Ah, but it is already too late, Master. For you see, Nidhogg has already awakened. What? Hear me, Master. You have mistaken the cause of the dragon's return. The eye is not to blame. A premonition came to me by virtue of the dragon within, warning me that the great worm would soon rouse. Even as he slumbered, Nidhogg seethed with irrepressible rancor for that wound of 20 years ago. That rancor will send him flying as a speeding arrow to Ishgard, whereupon death and devastation will ensue. But there is a possible solution. Were the eye taken to a remote land, far from the Holy See, then, and only then, could destruction be averted, and the lives of innocent Ishgardians be spared. You mean to make a bait of yourself? Nay, there's more to this than you let on. You seek vengeance for Ferndale. To me, the two are one and the same. You know my past better than anyone else. It was for no other reason than to avenge my family that I became a dragoon. Dragons long outlive men, and do not soon forget the wrongs done to them. What grudge they harbor burns as a fire in their hearts, over time swelling into an unquenchable inferno. Need only look back on history to see that Nidhogg grows stronger with each awakening. When last he darkened our skies, the great worm came within a hair's breadth of laying waste to Ishgard. Naught short of death will prevent him from completing his mission when next he wakes. Nidhogg took everything from me. Now, I shall take everything from him, even if it means my life. The eye works in ways men can ill comprehend, but this much is plain. And choosing 2 Azure Dragoons in one generation means for us to join together in common cause. Adventurer, you have heard my resolution. Now I ask that you lend me your power. Aye, the power of the dragon. The long and proud history of Ishgard. Never before have 2 Azure Dragoons arisen in the same era to fight as one. This is our best, nay, our only chance to send the Great Worm to eternal slumber. Behold my armor. This is the Draken mail forged in the lifeblood of dragons. As blood calls to blood, so too does the armor call to the dragon within, redoubling the wearer's strength thereby. If you would realize your potential as an Azure Dragoon, you must needs clad yourself in the same. Clad so, you will inherit the technique passed from Azure Dragoon to Azure Dragoon down through the generations. Then, and only then, will your training be complete. But first, you must win the Draken Mail as I and Sir Albrecht did before you. Okay, that's a cool shot. By proving yourself worthy in the ultimate trial of the Azure, a series of battles so harrowing as to send the unworthy to an early demise. Because we're Dragoons, and Dragoons are edgy, and we are super overly dramatic. Master, once the adventurer acquires the armor, pray see to it that she learns to harness the power of the dragon in full. Estinian, wait! Save your worries. I do not mean to make myself easy prey for dragons. I take my leave of you. This is such a weird... Yeah, the more I get into... I don't know why I ever thought he was a bard. I feel like this is definitely more Lyoki. All the drama, all the sassiness, all the edginess. I completely agree with you. Out of all the jobs we've done so far, this one definitely suits him the best. It may be the best out of all of them. There are a couple more that could be close runners, but I think this one might actually be number one. Estinian. Forgive me, I was deep in thought. Now then, as to acquiring the armor of which Estinian spoke. At first, it was my intention to bequeath mine own armor to you. I am an Azure Dragoon no longer, and its powers are wasted on me. It would be simple enough to hand it over to you and complete your training right here and now. But it is as Estinian said, the Draken armor is no ordinary set of mail. Strength derives from the dragon blood whence it came. The blood's power resonating with the soul of the wearer. I have no idea. It's some type of mount. There's a cat girl riding it. It's being carried by a bunch of fish. And it makes a lot of noise. I am pretty confused. I do not have that one, and I do not know where to get it. It's interesting. That's true. It's very festive. Have to make a parade of those on Christmas. But it is as Estinian said, the Draken armor is no ordinary set of mail. Its strength derives from the dragon blood whence it came. The blood's power resonating with the soul of the wearer. Though I can no longer draw upon mine own armor's power, its bond to me was forged years ago. Were I bestow it on you now, I fear would offer but a scintilla of the protection it afforded me in those bygone days. Aye, Estinian has the right of it. You must claim your armor as he did, and I before you. You must complete the trials of the Azure, that the powers of dragon blood be yours and yours alone. The ogre's belly will be where your final test begins. I shall dispatch Sir Brucemont there. Seek him out upon your arrival. It's kind of a little bit loud and obnoxious, but it's fun at the right times. What's the cheesecake update? Is it cooling now? In the oven, I assume? Nice. Did you do the water bath this time? Or for this one? You have grown strong since last we met, adventurer, but you pale in comparison with your Azure forebears. If you would prove me wrong, let your lance do the talking. Wow. Do you know if the water bath worked? Like, can you tell immediately, or does the cracking usually happen later? I know, nobody in Ishgard likes us. Once again, adventurer, you prove yourself worthy beyond my expectations. Take this, but know that your trial has only just begun. Your next challenge lies in the chamber beyond. Sir Justinian awaits you there. You, a foreigner, would don the Dragoon armor? Then prove to us that you will not do it dishonor. Wait, who am I fighting? I'm confused. Is it? Are you? Whatever. Hooray, that's exciting. Oh, I didn't realize that's what the cooling was for. That kind of makes a lot of sense. Oops, sorry, I did not read that. Your trial is nigh complete, but be forewarned, many before you have made it this far, only to fall at the final challenge. Do not let overconfidence be your downfall. Right. Final trial. So you have made it this far. Very well. Prove yourself worthy of the Azure or die in the effort. And these guardians take things so seriously. I'm learning so much about cheesecakes that I never knew. I also still have a craving for bagels. Maybe I'll get bagels tomorrow morning. That sounds really good, actually. You have demonstrated your powers to me beyond a doubt. Aye, there's not an Ishgardian who would gainsay your right to don the armor of dragons. I shall send word ahead to Sir Albrecht that you have passed your trials here. It is he who will present you with the 4th piece of armor. Consummate your training. Go now, my fellow Dragoon, and deliver this land from the Great Worm's wrath. Right. Where are the Azure Dragoon now? Oh, one of the Azure Dragoons. There's never been 2 of them. How does this work? Is this like a 50-50 democracy thing? They're like a junior, senior. We have to fight each other. We've made this flight so many times. Just like fly up to the north, fly back to the south, fly up to the north, fly back to the south. What level is this one even? It's the 45. Okay. We're almost done. I hear from Sir Brucemont that you performed most impressively. Yes, I stand more convinced than ever that you will be the one to save our land. Yet be warned, Lyoki. One last trial awaits you. You will face this trial in the presence not of knights, but of ghosts. Make your way toward the Steel Vigil, and seek out a gravestone north and west of the structure. Take with you this flute, and when you reach your destination, blow a single strong note. A visitor shall soon arrive. Entertain your guest, and should he leave behind a present, return it here, to me. That's spooky and ominous. All the way to the north. Is that a bird? What is that? A dragon? I think it's just a bird. What is that? Oh, that's a person. Never mind. Thought there was like a meteor crash landing or something. Like, that's new. Steel Vigil. Are we gonna get to see Ishgard? I think Ishgard's right around. Yeah. Okay. Wow, Ishgard at sunset. That's kind of cool. I mean, that's a pretty picture. Wow. Okay. This isn't a ghost. It's a lizard. I'm confused. That was supposed to happen? How was that a ghost? I actually don't understand. Okay, we made it back. Albert. Your presence before me indicates you've seen to the visitor. You ought to show for your deeds. I have a skull, apparently. Ah, the skull of Greywine, old warrior of the Dravanian horde. Said that in ages past, he could bring down a castle with a single breath. His strength has dwindled since those days. But a dragon past his prime is a formidable foe nonetheless. In slaying him, you have proven yourself worthy of this. You now possess 4 pieces of the armor that Estinian, myself, and our forebears did wear. While you doubtless wonder about the 5th, I can tell you only that it is not mine to give. Fear not, however, your triumphs in the trials, and against the dragon of the horde give evidence that dragon blood now resonates with yours. Yes, you stand before me as prepared for your ultimate challenge as any could be. And yet, before we proceed, I would hear to it from your own lips. The Great Worm's power is the stuff of legends. Have you truly resolved to fight this battle? To risk your own life to deliver a foreign land from the clutches of an ancient foe? When you are certain that your mind is settled, return and speak to me. We're certain. We'll take down Nidhogg. So you would join your strength to Estinians, that Ishgard might be free from the rage of the Great Worm forevermore. Then I shall honor my promise. You shall have full use of your powers by the time we are done. Before we begin, there's something I must needs confess. You will recall the tale of my battle with Nidhogg 20 years past, and how the power of the dragon left me on account of the injuries I sustained. What I said was an untruth. The power did not abandon me, Leoki. It was I who abandoned it. Being derived from our mortal enemies, the power of the Azure Dragoon is a double-edged sword. Even as it lends us the strength we need to smite dragons, it heightens our communion with the creatures, rendering our minds more susceptible to their seduction than ordinary men. Even as I buried my lance in Nidhogg's flesh, our gazes locked, and mine eyes met then with a look that would fair impale a man. In that instant I found myself assailed by a torrent of emotions not mine own. Sorrow, rancor, pity. They threatened to drown the man in me and leave behind a dragon. Fearing that I might turn traitor, I chose to purge myself of the power that the eye had bestowed upon me. Thus, regaining lucidity, I was able to rout the grievously wounded Nidhogg. Alas, countless of his brethren yet remained. As if to mock me, they fell upon Ferndale with a vengeance. Bereft of my power, it was all I could do to save but one child. Nary a soul knows of this, nay, not even Estinian. But I can keep him in the dark no longer. At our last meeting, Estinian said that protecting Ishgard and exacting revenge upon Nidhogg are as one to him. That frame of mind, I fear, may well lead to his demise. The desire to protect and the desire to avenge are opposing forces that can ill be reconciled. Worse, the latter serves only to cloud his sense of self. When next Estinian and I meet, I intend to confess all, though it means the loss of all of his good opinion. The outcome of the coming battle, and his very life, may well depend upon his readiness to relinquish his powers. Never allow yourself to forget the origin of your strength. Ever does the dragon lurk behind your eyes, biding its time, ready to claim you for its own. Aught less than complete conviction, and you will find yourself in its vice-like clutches. So forewarned, let us return to our present endeavor. My promise to Estinian was that I would impart upon you the technique that will mark you as a true Azure Dragoon. If you would know the truth, however, this knowledge is not within my power to bestow. No, you must claim the technique much as you claim the fourth piece of the armor you bear, by proving yourself in battle with the dragons whose powers you would unite with your own. I entrust you with this flute once more. Take it to the southwest of Providence Point and blow a single note. By locking wills with your adversary and prevailing, you will prove yourself worthy to champion the cause to which your lance is sworn. The dragon within you shall then awaken. Wow. A lot of stuff to unpack there. The village only got attacked after he gave up his power. That's pretty brutal to have to just sit there and watch, helpless. Okay. Dragon! Now we've finally mastered it. Dun, dun. It is good to see you safely returned. I take from your bearing that the engagement went favorably. Indeed. You left this place as a woman, Naoki, but you return as a dragoon. There is no more for me to teach you. From here, your battle is yours and yours alone. Now, you might recall me saying that the fifth and final piece of the Draken armor was not mine to give. However, that is not wholly true. I could guide you in the direction of that which you seek. That said, I yet have reservations. Sheer power of the dragon housed within is such that a great many of your Azure forebears, myself among them, have proven hopelessly incapable of wielding it. But I do not doubt what I see. Within you has awakened a strength that forever eluded the likes of me. If you are not worthy of wearing the armor, then I know none who are. Remember my warning to you, Leoki, and heed it well. Nidhogg is a lord among his kind. Aught less than complete conviction, and you will surely fall under his thrall. Before you can master your foe, you must needs master yourself. Hone your lance arm till it can bear no further honing, then present yourself to me. When the time has come, I will tell you what you need to know. I look forward to our next meeting, my young Dragoon. Everything's still good? Okay, just making sure. Leoki, an urgent message arrived from Estinian in your absence. He bids you come at once to the Steel Vigil. It would seem Nidhogg is on the move, and rather sooner than we anticipated. It appears you have not yet fully become master of the dragon within you, and yet we are racing against time. I fear we have no choice but to do battle to the best of your current abilities, and without the dragon mail I promised. Now, let us away. Estinian must know the truth of Ferndale, lest he fall for the Great Worm's seduction. Oh no, we gotta go! The dragons are attacking! How could we have ever known something like that was gonna happen? They really like making us make this flight. This has to be the 9th or 10th time I've flown from... What is this place called? Oh, just the Observatorium to Camp Dragonhead. Oh, Luna's awake. Luna. Pele's still not moved. Oops. Uh-oh. We about to fight? The Azure Dragoon. Albric, I have waited long for this day. You who fancy yourself an Azure Dragoon, the man whose cause you have taken for your own is a coward. He relinquished the power of the dragon of his own volition, and watched as Ferndale burned. Do you not think it ironic that I was chosen as your Dragoon? I, an orphan, who was not of value to protect in Ishgard. I suppose I must give thanks, for it was the eye that revealed to me the truth, a truth so damning as to undo a lifetime of trust. I loved you as a father, but I can ill forgive you for Ferndale. Leoki did just have the like, oh snap, look. It's like shocked face. I was gonna say shocked Pikachu face, but that's not the right one. As I understand it, you've kept even the Archbishop in the dark regarding the missing eye. Do you mean to take your shame to the grave? But I waste my breath. Prove yourself, old man, for I shall lay waste to all the things you hold dear. And once I'm finished with you, I shall do what no Azure Dragoon has succeeded in doing. I shall claim Nidhogg's head. Calm yourself, Estinian. Your rage renders you vulnerable to the dragon's influence. Just casually walk up without saying anything. Leoki. In you I thought I had found kindred. Someone beside whom I could fight the Great Worm. It is with a heavy heart that I relinquish that dream. Your affection for this coward has rendered you deaf to your own destiny. Very well. That we would one day cross lances was inevitable from the moment of our first meeting. So we shall now find out who is the Eye's true chosen. There can be only one. Yeah, Leoki is definitely a man of few words, which also fits Dragoon pretty well. I am the Eye's true chosen. You shall know it when I bury my lance in your chest. Stydian, stop this madness. You and Leoki were meant to be allies, not enemies. Everybody is just jumping around all over the place. Watching two Dragoons fight each other is the funniest thing to me. Dragon's curse corrupts Stydian's very body and soul. Power. I must have more power. O Lord of Dragons, grant me strength to raise thine enemies. Stydian, surrender not to the beast within. Have you forgotten the vows you swore? Almost got him. Feeble creature. Dost thou desire power? Who said that? Look to thine anger and to thy hatred. It is there that thou shalt find it. O mighty Nidhogg, Lord of Dragons! Nidhogg! Oh no! Grant unto me thy blood, that I might be granted the claws and fangs wherewith to rend thine enemies. Leoki, this is impossible. Cannot be. Wrong guy. Wrong lever, Croc. It's a good reference. I like that. That's a problem. Nidhogg just talked to us. Forgive me, Estinian. I failed you once again. I am fine, Leoki. Somewhat shaken, but otherwise whole of body. Suffice it to say, I have much to reflect upon. Let us return to the observatorium. Poor Albrecht. Man, he was even trying to tell him. Estinian just vanished? That seems like a bit of a problem. No, I mean, I have no idea what happened, but I think it was more we stepped in and prevented Nidhogg from giving him his power. It was like Nidhogg was trying to channel power into Estinian, but we cut the cord, as it were. I have no idea. We just jumped really high in the air and it worked. The ways of the Warrior of Light are ever a mystery. Maybe Albrecht has an idea. When the being of darkness closed upon us, you appeared to me the spitting image of Haldrath the Dragon's Eye, just as he is depicted in the Holy Scriptures. Thought that mayhap the years had taken their toll on my mind. Behold, the soul of the Dragoon shines as it never did in all the years I bore it. Or maybe the eye, chose us instead of him, and Estinian couldn't get the power from him. I don't know. It's another idea. I like that idea, though. Nidhogg just, for thousands of years, has actually just been really interested in high jump competitions. He's like, whoever jumps the highest gets my eye for the next 20 years. It would seem you have achieved that which was thought impossible. You have awakened to the ability that none but the first Azure Dragoon possessed. Truly a momentous achievement. I can still scarce believe that you were able to summon the selfsame Draken mail worn by Haldrath. To think that it had been sealed within the soul crystal all this time. I've borne witness to many and more wonders over the years, yet none compares to you, my young Dragoon. Could it be that you are... Mark not my mutterings. I'm certain that it was your indomitable sense of justice that resonated with the spirit of the first Azure Dragoon, prompting him to bestow the armor upon you. Yes, that is doubtless what happened. As the being of darkness faded, so too did Nidhogg's aura subside. And now, his kind have ceased their stirring. Whether this was compelled by your awakening, I cannot say. I suspect we will learn the truth of it eventually. Estinian, my dear boy, whatever becomes of him, he will ever be as a son to me. I pray that he is somewhere out there still, and that he has not wholly forgotten the great man he once was. When that darkness brushed against me, the selfsame torrent of emotion swept over me, as those I experienced 20 summers past. There is something else besides. There was a voice, and it lamented the rift that divides dragons and men. You will come to comprehend what I speak in due time. Till then, Leoki, I pray that you will ever use your newfound strength in the name of justice. Uh-huh. We did it! Yeah, parenthood is not easy. Concludes the Dragoon quest.